Hi everyone, I'm about to film a video for my best friend, and excuse my boyfriend in the background. He's watching Vines on my computer while I film on his. My new laptop has even worse quality than the one before, although the one before actually had fairly decent quality. The new one absolutely sucks, but it is overall a better computer. So, I'm doing this look for my best friend, and it's kind of inspired by Steven Universe by color theme, and frankly, I'll be featuring a lot, so bear with me. I'm gonna start out with some skincare stuff first, and I'm using the Tucker Ashley Advanced Peptide Eye Complex, and it's apply underneath and around eye area 1 to 2 times daily, and it makes my skin feel nice, so I like it. I only apply it once a day because I have fairly oily skin. I don't need to apply it, honestly, that much. In the wintertime, I do have issues with some dry skin, so I like stuff that will give me moisture in the under eye area, because that's an important area to take care of with your skin. This is actually just about the only area I have issues with dryness, is right here. And it's not year-round, it's mostly in the winter, but it is a problem. And then I'm taking my Cetaphil Oil Control Moisturizer, and I'm moisturizing my skin, starting with the area, the center of my face. I'm taking extra care to go over the areas that I've already used the eye cream on. That was way too much. I do not moisturize my eyelids, I think, for obvious reasons. And I'm going to move my items closer to me. That would make a lot of sense. Did I not move that up there? Thanks. but today I'm using vanilla. I'm sorry. I'm doing my eyes first. I'm trying to get into the habit of doing my eyes first, and it's a long, complicated process. I'm using today the e.l.f. Shadow Lock Eyeshadow Primer in Champagne. So for my first color, I'm going to be focusing on my creases. And I'm going to be using more than a few colors out of my Makeup Geek eyeshadows. I only have 9, and I'm going to not this brush. I'm going to use my B13 Morphe blending brush. I'm going to pick up quite a bit of Peach Smoothie and apply it right. And I'm not focusing in any particular area. And next I'm going to take my Bear palette from Profusion, and these are not the best eyeshadows, but they have some wonderful crease shades in here, and I cracked my mirror. Now, these will be covered up. Blending these out are definitely key. Now comes the fun. I'm taking my terribly abused e.l.f. contour brush, and I'm going to be using a kind of orangey shade, and I'm going to be applying it right into the corner of my eye area, and it'll be going down into the crease. And I'm going to dip my brush into some stuff that's supposed to help make eyeshadow more pigmented from e.l.f. and I can't remember right off the top of my head what it's called, and I just set it down. It's like a lock and set. This is the Hard Candy Trendsetter eyeshadows. They aren't the best, but they are my only really extremely crazy colored eyeshadows, and I'll be using Deep Purple, Spirit Rock, and Isla later on from the Self-Made palette, and of course my favorite, Pink Champagne. I'm going to be using a bunch of different colors here, so try and keep up. I'm going to then go in with my B13 brush again and Razzleberry. And I'm going to just use any brush right now that is smaller and a little more of Razzleberry, and I'm just gonna go in a little more right in the corners. Taking just a tad bit of Bitten, I'm going to darken up the corner of my eye. Now on the center of the lid, I'm going to first use Strawberry Bonbon. This is just kind of a base. Then I'm going to use one of my favorite things to use as eyeshadow, which is blush. And I just had that. Where did it go? Where could you have possibly gone in a short amount of time? I'm using an e.l.f. blush, which is Pink Passion. You think it's pink enough? I would never, ever use this on my cheeks. I would look so idiotic. I'm going to now go in with Pink Champagne over top of that. Not a lot. At this current moment, this looks a little bit crazy, and it will continue to look crazy, not even gonna lie. I'm now gonna take Wysteria. Deep Purple from the Self-Made palette. do want to bring in some blue before this is all said and done. So I'm going to take a mixture of, I want to say this is Neptune and, let me pop these off real quick over my smoothie. A mixture of Nautica and Neptune. Now to open that eye right back up, I'm going to take Shimma and apply that just directly onto the tear duct area. And just kind of blend into the blue mixture. I'm going to take a little bit of another Makeup Geek shadow, which I can't look at the name and I can't remember what it's called. And I am going to apply a little bit where the orange is. Just to intensify it. And that's what we get to start off with. Now for highlighting up here, I'm going to take a mixture of Buttery and Treasure. I find that Shimma is just a little too much for me personally for highlighting up here because it's very intense. So I'm just going to move on to the rest of my face now, and I'm going to use whatever face primer I can find. Which looks to be none at this current moment. I'm moving around stuff, still attempting to find some of my makeup. And, you know, since I'm not going out in this, for moisturization's sake, I'm going to start moisturizing my lips in preparation for it. And I'm just using a regular lip balm. I'm going to apply the Sonia Kashuk Perfecting Luminous Foundation in O2 Vanilla, which isn't my skin tone, admittedly, but I do find that it does the most for my skin. Without being too much. someone with extremely oily skin, I was surprised that I like this foundation as much as I do. It is very full coverage. And if you don't apply it with a sponge, it can be a little too much. I'm going to go back to the eyes once I'm done applying my foundation. I've discovered that I don't particularly like doing a wing before I do my foundation. Normally I would apply a brightening concealer underneath, but you know, I think this foundation has it going. I do find you use a lot more than you normally would with the foundation. I just got hair on my mouth. That's disgusting. I literally just saw you. Where did you go? I will fight you. My favorite concealer has decided to legit disappear. Okay. And using the Naked Skin by Urban Decay concealer in Fair Neutral. I'm just gonna set all of this with my Lauder Mercier. Setting powder. I'm making patting motions with this because I don't want to disturb anything underneath. And I find that if you just brush it over, it gets a bit patchy. This also helps to press in stuff, so. Before I get to everything else, I'm going to real quick stop and do my brows. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow Pomade in soft brown. I thought that said soft brown for a second. I was like, I know that's not right. Why is everything disappearing on me? taking an angled brush and the pomade. I'm just going to fill in my brows. That's what I like to do first. I like to make a strong, thick line, starting from the inner part of my brow, going up to the arch. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start defining the lower part of the tail of my brow. And then I'm going to start feathering this up. My brow may look fake, but at least it's strong. The thing is other than this part of my brow, the rest of my brow really isn't visible, and in certain lights, this isn't even visible, so, oh well. Now I'm just gonna go up from about right here, and just make my arch a little bit bigger, a little bit higher, because I need that oomph right at my arch. Forever having one brow raised and questioning. I like my brows a little strong. Now if I was a white girl, I'd just put on some lip gloss and be done with it. So for the rest of my face, I'm going to start with highlighting. And while I would use Pearl because of the name and this being inspired by Steven Universe, I'm using Champagne Pop because I think it'll be a little more subtle for the look and just a little more fitting. Because Pearl is like out of this world insane highlighting, while this is more subtle while still being pretty crazy. This also just gives me such a beautiful sheen. Makeup blush palette, I'm taking a more bronzy blush, and with a kabuki brush and all the excess that'll come off, tapped off, I'm going to start up here. Do you see how insanely pigmented this stuff is? And work it down towards the apples of my cheeks. I am applying it a little farther in than I normally would. And then with just a little bit of with a skin tone color, normally I would use a pressed powder, but I'm going to just almost tone that down. I'm using the same kabuki brush and my Bronze Goddess bronzer from Estee Lauder in 01 Light, and I'm just gonna go ahead and taking the contour shade out of my Ave Princess palette. I'm going to do a little bit of contouring down towards the corners of my lips. And that's it for the face portion. So I'm going to go back to the eyes now. And I'm going to be using a cream eyeliner, and I'm using a bright blue one. This is Tease, I think, from Elf, and it looks like this, and it's pink it's pink, guys, totally pink. It is blue as blue can be, and I'm just going to create a blue wing. Blue dabby. Blue dabby. I'm only gonna bring the wing in about halfway. My eyelashes. This eye is giving me so many problems right now. Like, please stop. Now, getting all of that off, I'm going to set this using the same brush, and I'm going to set it using Neptune. Like, I could set it with a different eyeshadow that's more teal. But I want this wing to be electric blue. To really pull the whole look together. Now, if you're not careful with the cream eyeliners from e.l.f., they will stamp onto your, like, I've had it stamp as far up as, like, up here, and I don't understand how, but it happens, so be careful. Oh, I forgot to contour under my chin. Ugh. Just real quick, I'm gonna contour my chin because that shit is disgusting. And I'm just gonna get up close and personal to reach my e.l.f. eye primer and liner sealer, and I'm just going to be using the liner side. I do find that I don't really like the primer side of this because I think the primer side is just a little too stiff, a little too harsh, and I'm going to just seal in this eyeliner. And for underneath my eye, I'm going to be taking a combination of many colors. This all around is going to be a very extreme, very dramatic look, even the lips. Because normally I would tone it down for the lips, but for this one, nah, not so much. Because I haven't used any of the green yet, I'm going to again take my Anastasia palette and a not flat brush, but not fluffy brush, and I'm going to take Isla, and just on the outer portion of my eye, literally just that corner, I'm going to take Isla. And then I'm going to take Pink Champagne. Pink Champagne applies best, I find, with the finger. So just extremely carefully apply Pink Champagne to the center portion of your eye, And then I'm going to take Blossom. And apply that on the inner corner. And just to reinforce that highlight from earlier, I'm again taking Shimma onto a brush. And just now for the lips. Now we're getting a little bit crazy here. And I'm taking a admittedly large flat brush and Witches. And first I'm going to apply Witches with a brush. It's going to apply extremely patchy with a brush at first. But the reason I'm doing this is fairly simple. Because first off, I'm kind of overlining my lips. So hi guys, how you doing? And this completes the look. No, it doesn't. Egger. So I start off with my natural applying. As you see, it's a little bit strange. And now I'm just gonna fix. Taking another flat brush, this one angled, I'm going to take a I'm going to be taking a concealer, and first off I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand. And I'm going to take the brush and get loaded up. And I'm just going to extremely carefully go over the edge. And make sure everything's just nice and even. I only usually apply it to the bottom, so I don't know what I'm doing because I'm not. And now I'm again going to flip this out of the way. And with the same flat brush that I applied the or not, I'm going to take a smaller flash brush actually. And first I'm going to take deep purple onto said flat brush. And I'm going to apply it just on the lower portions right there, and on the top portion I'm applying Nautica to the inner corners. And in a second you'll be able to see the close-up of what it is that I've done. I'm going to now take Isla and on the bottom half of my lip I'm going to first apply it, then dab it in. Right into the center of my lip. And on the top lip, I'm going to take... I'm trying to use colors that I've used up here, but I don't want to use something as... I'm going to take my orangish color. And so to blend the two together, I'm going to take what do I want to use? I'm actually going to take just a little bit of deep purple. And kind of use it as a blending medium. And to blend these two together, I'm just going to take a little bit of Nautica. Here's the complete look. As you can see, it's a little bit insane. Definitely not something I'd wear to work or to school or really anywhere other than a convention type of thing, but you see my hair. Well, Jade, I hope you like it.